Chapter 9. All Hands on Deck. "All hands on deck," Mate Joe cried. "There's blight that walks the water. It needs stopping, for more have died, so the shark must end this slaughter." "Tooth for tooth," somebody cried. Cheers rang out midst "eye for eye." As one, the shark's crew fell in line. All were geared for war. Requital for those on board 9 and those poor lost 54. The waning sun was like an orange as Willem asked for quiet. "I need 20 lookouts till the morn. The rest I'll bid good night. Before you go, I'll have you know these cowards are quite near us. There's 3 of them and 1 of us. I doubt they'd even fear us. But the great advantage to this bit of fun that gives some satisfaction, we know of them, and though 3 to 1, we can plan a course of action. Depends upon the winds and such, so plans can't finalize too much, but if any of you has some thoughts to kill these vermin as we ought, I'll be awakened in my quarters. Oh, tonight, no lanterns. Those are orders. I'll see you then at dawn's first light." And again the captain said, "Good night." Chapter 10. A Shark Attack. I lay awake and in my bunk with men all round me snoring. How can they sleep, I wondered then, just 4 hours from the morning. I thought of ways to be a hero, mapping out a plan. I thought of every second that we'd been so far from land. I thought of Lime, and all this time I was so very scared. And I thought of Harmy, and that young girl, and of her body, bared. I thought then of the 20 men Cap stole, the venerable pig, the squall. Would they ever see their isle again, their wives, their kids, and all? And then I thought of my spirit bosun, who'd said, "Here, son, grab this line." He'd doubtless saved my soul last night. I lay there, and I opined. So he wouldn't let me die this day. So I eased back on my pillow, and with that particular thought in mind, I slept to the ocean's billow. Shh! Pitch black it was. I thought we were goners. Shh! There it was again, coming from a corner. Barely made the figures out. Penn it was, and Snell. Time to roll the cannon out. They're out there, 2, 3 mile. And in the dark, without a spark, we pulled on coats and breeches and shadowed up the ladder then, like spirits, ghosts, or witches. Across the night, their lantern lights came flickering through the haze. 3 separate ships, whispered the cap, just as the old man says. There's plenty of water 'tween 'em, just as I was hoping. We may be able to send one home while the other 2 are coping. They've been up all night, I'm sure of it, feasting, drinking rum, satisfied and gloating over the debauchery they've done. With that, the captain chose a ship and set his sights upon her. The gallant men, all 110, were willing, able, eager. The Shark was guided swift and true, cannon readied by the crew, and in 20 minutes it was through. All 'twas left was timber. The deadly missiles found their mark. I found a cache of powder. The pirate ship was blown apart, and while the cause was oh so loud, the 110 were louder. The elusive shark pulled in the wind and bore down on another. She's a pink, I think, the captain spat. Only 8-10 cannon on her. Figgins, load the port with shot. 6 guns ought to do it. We'll leave her floating helpless while we put the 3rd one to it. That smaller ship was now aware, although it was frozen. And then they saw their far-out man, and they tried to make a run-in. Again, this suited Willem's plan, and again the Shark complied. Port side, out some 50 yards, we let that grape shot fly. Just beginning to raise her sails, that little pink was shattered. The grape shot did its deadly deed. The rails, the sails in tatters. The pirates running along the decks were fairly cut asunder. Aunt Harmony voiced above the noise, "Fit in to rape and plunder." Our guns were leveled at the craft, now on starboard side. "Ahoy, ye mangy cowards all," the first mate loudly cried. "Every one of you aboard. In the water. Come a-swimming. If you can't swim, it's eye for eye. Won't lift a finger, even try. For you left 23 to die, honest men and women." The mate turned round, said, "Seaman Penn, take 20 men, those newer ones will do. Then take the jolly boat and crew. Check the craft, both fore and aft. If you find there cowards still, be they drunk or sober, do whate'er, the filthy swill. Aye, do whate'er seems good to you. Let 'em swim or run 'em through, and then just toss 'em over." Now in the water went 30 men to the call for their surrender. 18 men survived the swim, so we provided them a tender. We watched that third ship come about, our match in most respects. Snell called her a Xebec. Turns out he was correct. We watched the skull go up her mast, a gesture of defiance. "Spain's banner up," says Cap, says he, a signal of compliance. Dawn was just beginning then to stretch out on the water. We sat at most 2 miles apart and studied one another. Sea was calm, weather warm. Perfect day for fishing. 'Twas smig, one taken from the pig, maybe joking, maybe wishing. A bit of fun loosened everyone, and hearts were somewhat merry. But Cap says, mostly to himself, "She makes me more the wary." Straight at us then, against the wind, intent upon some killing, the third and final pirate ship we saw was more than willing. Why, she must have had 20 or more pulling at the paddle, for she skimmed across that watery floor as if she owned the battle. Cap watched the scene before us in total admiration, and then, as though his mind regained, said, "Laddies, man your stations." Blime and me and Aunt Harmony got ordered to the cuddy. Thought we shouldn't ought to see if things got really bloody. "But hell," I said, "I'm most a man. Seen bloody folks last night." Cap looked at me and said, "I agree." He and Aunt Harmony said, "All right." The Xebec fired most 15 shot. All but 2 fell short. "Bring about." The elusive shark turned handsomely to port. 9-pounders now, and make 'em count." We heard him shout in earnest. 9-pounders roared, 5, 6 or more, and most of them found purchase. Men were checking damages, no majors to report. The Xebec turned into the wind to face the shark once more. Cap Willem turned as hard astern and met her there broadside. Both ships were firing now at will, with cannon and grape shot flying. The Xebec once again turned round as if to make a pass, but now she was sorely wounded, and no way she could last. So instead of coming around to fight, veered off to make a run. The deadly shark streaked after her, full into the sun. The blackguards in that Xebec ship, doubtless cowards all, raced to escape the streaking shark and her deadly cannonball. After minutes, seemed like hours, they brought that ship around. They hoisted then a surrendered flag and pulled their blackie down. Cap Willem ordered the pirate craft to lower all her sails. Ropes and cables went awry. Masts stood naked to the sky. Sails all landed in a jumble. Xebec's deck crew, now quite humble, stood sullen at the rails. And with that, the captain spat. Then came another order. "Now, the captain, mates, and boatswain, in a boat, send her over." Burly men, I counted 10, came paddling in a tender, and to see the look of them, they had all been on a bender. As they came up the ladder, Cap spat and rolled his eyes. "Playing tricks now, are we? A thing I do despise. Right. Which one of you is captain? Which one of you is mate?" "None, sir. We're just rowers, sir." Jal hoped you'd fall for bait. So it's Jal, is it? Hey, Jal, he roared, spat it out like poison. We'll try this just one more time. Now you, the mates, and the boatswain. What's your name, son? He asked the man who'd just been rowing. Name's Magnus, sir. I'm only here 'cause I got put in tow, and several others on the ship got shanghaied just like me. We was fishing off a reef in what they call the Balearic Sea. Nothing moving on that ship, First Mate interrupted. Thought as much, Willem said. I could see he was disgusted. Now, son, the cap continued, how many are aboard? Maybe 80, 90, sir, but only 40 draw a sword. Every time they do a run, they lock us up in hold, and when the deed is o'er and done, we get a pint or two of rum while they have sacks of gold. The captain turned to all of us nearby. Says, I'm a fair man, and I try. Now we could easily sink that wreck, but for innocents on deck. Magnus says there's 40 more, would like nothing more than go ashore. Now then, men, I'd rather 10 than 80 die. Boys, says Cap to Joe and Snell, then he included Penn and me. I've a plan. I think we can, if to a man, and he winked at me. If we all agree, we could toss this fella Jal right into the sea.